Okay, so um, what you're looking at here is just something I'm working on. I have a few things that I'm working on. These are more political, true, but they're not all gonna be political because I'm building my website now. This is something that's gonna go with it. It's not the main premise for the website, but it's just it's I have this idea that I'm doing with the website. Um, so basically, the objective is to get as much as I can going, and then from there I should be able to apply myself accordingly, so that way when I'm done, things come out awesome. Now, mind you that when I was going to school for this, uh, my instructor said that basically there was no point or no use for that flare tool. Well, I just figured out how to freaking use the damn thing, and it came out wonderful. Um, like I said, it's not finished yet, but the idea is there. There's still stuff that has to go on it, but this is just kind of what I'm doing with it. Um, in the essence of what I want to have done with it. And because I mean it's still an injustice. It's still things that need to get taken care of. But for the most part, I'm just really getting that going because I know that if I don't, then I'll wind up beating myself up, and that's not what I want. Now, part of me was listening to what they're saying, and they made logical sense that it's geared to go against us, but that's the same as if it's a freaking bicycle. Just because bicycles are dangerous doesn't mean that you shouldn't ride one. It's great for exercise. There are great benefits. So if the benefits somewhat outweigh the if the benefits to have only one or two particulars is it outweighs the risks, then I think as long as it's done in a healthy way, then there's nothing wrong with that. So that's another thing I was thinking about because I do spend a lot of time on there. Um and at the same time, I also collect a lot of data. Even though a lot of data is being collected from me, I'm collecting a lot of data on what I want to do. I can give a fuck if they throw ads in my face because at the end of it all, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless if they could try to predict what I'm going to do. They could predict all fucking day, but that don't mean that it's going to happen. Now, and the reason why I say that is because even though they can predict a particular outcome, they can't predict the true future of an outcome, when it really is on the line. Um, their job is just to predict when, you know, your life is, mediocre or if it's poor, whatever, you know what I mean? Um, because they want to stimulate, and those stimulations are what get people to do things similarly or differently, etc. With me, and I understand myself, and what is a challenge for those who try to apply it so that way they can control how people view things is that the more they try to use me as a tool to sell me, I just do the reversal, and I'll do that and I'll use them as a tool as well. Of course, they're going to make money off of it because they got advertisers that need to sell shit. And then, of course, me being the natural consumer, that's a challenge that I have to do. But the challenge for them is to understand exactly where I'm going to head to next. It's kind of like when you go for a jog, you don't go down the same route that you usually go down. You take a different route every now and then or every time. This way it's not consistent. You got to look at them as being stalkers. They stalk your information and all that shit, you know? I mean, shit, even now. How do I know? What happened? A chick that was on my Instagram. What happened with the chick on my Instagram? We have a connection through cars. She happens to do exercise stuff. That's cool. What was the music she was playing? Music she was playing was about fucked up relationships. How do I know? Because the relationships the relationship I have been talking about for some time, it was fucked up. How did that all coincides with each other? Trying to figure out what's going on. That's cool because I was in the process of working on this anyway. And I was already trying to figure out exactly how I was going to promote it because it is digital age since the 80s, yo. I mean, they created a monster, but that doesn't mean the monster controls you. You can control it. Shit, this is my fucking T-Rex, bitch. You know what I mean? It has no fucking will unless I aim that motherfucker to where it needs to go to. But I'm not, and I understand it's still a wild beast. That's the difference. Most people don't get that. They think that, okay, they can control it. And honestly, you can if you know how to tame a beast, but that's a hard thing to deal with because that's basically you controlling yourself. You know, that's why you might have all that stuff out there, but you can hold that shit back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, like it's not an infinite thing, you know, when it comes to certain factors. So, what's out there is out there already. What's new isn't gonna come from the shit that you post on your shit. What's new is gonna come from shit that you're not showing when you're out and about doing your stuff. That's why I don't always get on when I'm out and about. But if I happen to get on in a certain location, 9 times out of 10, I won't be in that same location for weeks, months, years or so, depending upon what it is that I'm doing. So therefore it's fresh, it's new, but it's once in a blue moon. And they'll take it as, okay, he doesn't go there often, so let's just stick with everything he goes to often. When in fact, you don't know how many times a motherfucker go to that place because they ain't got time to sit there and post every fucking thing that they doing. That's the worst. Maybe for them mofos out there that do shit, but hey, you know, phone location, right? That'll tell you too. So I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to escape the shit. I'm just molding the motherfucker because, hey, if it's me and it's as a main character, you know, main characters always have to mold themselves, you know, according to the circumstances that they're dealing with and stuff. So, anyway, long talk short or long, yeah, basically, so this is a guy, that I'm doing right now, um, and he understands that there's variations when it comes to the belief system of sociological and psychological depravity when it comes to uh, social differences